Hello and welcome to Strength and Mobility Workout B. Today we have 6 exercises that we'll go through that are focusing on primarily strength, and then we have 4 exercises that we will do that will focus more on mobility and range of motion. Okay, so the first exercise we have is called an insole lunge. Okay, and for this exercise, I really want to focus on a nice big range of motion. I'm sneaking in some mobility throughout this workout. Okay, so I'm going to take a nice big step forward for a lunge. Okay, I'm going to allow this back knee to come close to the ground, and I'm going to bring my left hand to the inside of this foot. Okay, now from this position, you can also get that elbow down if you have greater range of motion than I do. Okay, from this position, I'm going to open up towards that front leg. Okay, so I'm going to open up towards the left, back to center, and stand up. Okay, so I'll show you a little bit faster on the other side. So nice big step forward. I'm coming to the inside of that right foot, open up, back down, and stand back up. Okay, so we'll do 10 insole lunges on each side. Next exercise we have is an inchworm. Okay, so I'm starting with my feet shoulder width apart. I'm gonna bring my hands up. I'm gonna swan dive forward, keeping my back nice and flat for as long as I can. Bring my hands to the ground, slow and controlled. I'm coming out to a push-up position, come down to a cobra position, use my core to pull my hips up and walk myself back up. And that's 1, okay? We're gonna do 6 of these inchworms. So coming all the way out to a cobra, pop those hips up and walk yourself back up. Okay. Next we have a banded row. I'm going to use my treadmill as kind of my point of stability. If you want to use like your chin up bar, that's totally fine. You'll be able to get a little bit of a different angle, but that's also great as well. Okay. So from this position, I'm going to sit into just a slight squat here, and I'm holding on to my band in front of me, and I'm gonna squeeze my shoulder blades together and slow and controlled back out. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, slow and controlled back out. Okay, so that is our banded row. Next we have a banded chest press as well. Again, if you wanna use your chin-up bar as sort of your anchoring system, you'll end up doing more of a decline press, and that's totally fine as well. Whatever works, whatever you have for sort of that anchor angle is totally fine. Okay, so from this position, I'm gonna get myself into sort of a split squat position. Doesn't matter which foot you have forward, whichever feels more stable, more comfortable. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna breathe out as I press forward, slow and controlled, and back. Okay, if this is too easy, take a step forward so that you create a little bit more tension. Breathe out as you press. Breathe out as you press forward. Okay, we're shooting for 12 to 15 for both the banded row and the banded push-up, banded chest press. Okay, next exercise is called a YTW. You can use your bench for this. You could also do this on the floor. You can do this with weight or without. I'll show you both. Okay, so we're gonna do 10 each position, okay? So the first position, I'm gonna kind of lay flat on my bench here. You can bring your head right to the edge so that you can maintain a neutral spine. Okay, the Y position, coming straight up, 10 like that, okay? 10 for the T, squeezing those shoulder blades together and back down. Flip my hands up so my palms are facing up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together and back down, okay? If you're gonna use weight for this, I would choose a small, like a 3 to 5 pounder, and I would do the Y with no weight, and then add the weight for both the T and the W in order to sort of challenge those muscle fibers specifically, okay? So that's our YTW. Next we have a banded hip bridge. So if you have a small round band, that's what we're after for this one. Okay, I'm gonna lay on my back. I'm gonna place my band just below my knees. okay? 2 different options for this hip bridge. If you don't have a band, that's totally fine. You can still do this exercise without it, okay? Again, thinking about pulling my core in tight, and I'm gonna drive those hips up, okay? From this position, I wanna pull my knees apart, open up my knees, bring my knees back together, and back down, okay? So drive those hips up, pull our knees apart while maintaining that hip and core tightness. Pull our knees back in and back down, okay? Another option for this hip bridge is place that band towards my ankles, and from this position, I'm gonna drive up, I'm gonna lift my foot, back down, and you can alternate sides if you choose to do that version of the hip bridge, okay? And those are our strength exercises. Next, we're moving to our mobility work, and we'll do 30 to 60 seconds each exercise for the mobility. The first is called a Pilates side plank, okay? And again, I can be on my toes like so, or I can also do this from my knees right here, okay? Either one is great. From your toes is gonna be a little bit more challenging, okay? So from my toes, I'm gonna lift myself up, I'm gonna bring my hand up, and I'm really thinking about getting that thoracic mobility, slow and controlled. I'm gonna open up, slow and controlled. I'm gonna open up, okay? So we'll do 30 to 60 each side for that. Next, we have a quadruped thoracic opener. So I'm on hands and knees, okay? I'm gonna take my right hand, place it behind my ear. I'm gonna pull my elbow towards my left hand. I'm gonna open up as wide as I can, hold here, and back down, okay? Again, really trying to activate that thoracic movement, slow and controlled, and sort of hold at the top or wherever that challenging point is for you, okay? Next, we have a deep squat open up. You can do this just body weight. You can also do this with a yoga block. So I'm gonna grab my yoga block so I can show you both, okay? For the deep squat open up, again, we're really focusing today on really some rotary movements to improve mobility within the spinal column, okay? Toes are pointed out, feet are about wide, shoulder width apart, a little bit wider. I'm gonna sit down into a deep squat position, okay? If your heels come up, that's totally fine. No big deal about that. Again, we're really interested in focusing on mobility, so find out where you are at and really focus on, you know, starting in that point. That's totally great, okay? So from this position, I'm gonna place my hand down and I'm gonna open up, okay? I'm gonna place my other hand down and I'm gonna open up. I'm hinged forward pretty good. My mobility is not super great right now. I can also do this with a yoga block. Okay, so I can use my yoga block. I'm gonna set it up the tall way. I'm gonna set my booty down on this. I've got my toes pointed out, okay? Now I can get a nice position with my shoulders. I can keep my shoulders up here. I do feel a good stretch in my hips and my pelvic girdle from this position. So from here, now I can set my hand down and I can actually get more mobility and a greater stretch in my core when I set it up this way. Okay, if that's too easy, let's flip the yoga block on the side here. Okay, so from this position, same thing. I can get pretty good in terms of postural position when I use that yoga block as an assist. Okay, I'm gonna set that hand down and open up. And again, I get a nice big range of motion in my core as I do that. Okay, so that is our deep squat open up. And then the last of our stretches is our chest doorway stretch, okay? So I'm gonna turn you towards the side here so I can use my doorway to demo this. And hopefully the wind doesn't blow too bad as I open this up. A little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna use my doorway here and I'm going to get to a nice lunge position and I'm really just pressing my chest forward here. Again, we can hold this position for 30 to 60 seconds and that'll be a nice stretch to really open up that chest and help us to focus in on some of those postural improvements. All right, that's it. Have a great day.